bring in our man, Marcus Thompson of The Athletic, MT2. Marcus, how you feeling, bro?
Oh, man, I'm alive, so we're going to count our blessings.
All right. Well, okay. Well, that's – I don't know. I don't know. Hey, I guess it's a win, so we'll take that. We'll take that.
A net victory, baby.
There it is. KC asked this earlier. I'll ask you, given where we are in the season, given where these two teams, the Kings and the Warriors, are in the season, has this game for Rivals Week lost a little bit of luster tonight?
Yeah, I think it added to it. I think both teams are going to have a little bit of desperation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of got to get this one. So it's going to be a lot more thirst on the court this time. And, that could lead to anything.
Yeah.
It's not like the playoff version of it, but it wasn't going to be that anyway, But I don't know. Both of them trying to salvage, trying to save something. So I feel like it might be a little lit.
Do you I didn't think about it that way. That's interesting outlook on it. Do you obviously the Warriors have been dealing with a lot in the last week and a half, 2 weeks or so. But do you think they view the Kings as a rival? Seems strong. They won 4 championships. But do they get a little extra juice when they're playing the Kings at all?
Oh, I think so for sure. And they like to talk that it ain't a rivalry, but it is. I don't know why they hate that word. Like they used to do it with the Clippers. Like, it ain't a rivalry, so why are you so mad then? Why are you trying to take this dude's head off?
Yeah.
It's for sure a rivalry. Now, the difference I think is it's like built on respect, so it's more like a brotherly rivalry. There's not like beef. You know what I'm saying? Like they genuinely like each other. I know they love De'Aaron, JaVale. They love JaVale. Obviously Mike Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, Steph and De'Aaron are like partners now. So I just think it's more like we gonna talk trash to each other. So we gotta win because next time I see you and I'm gonna see you, I don't want to hear your mouth. And nobody want to hear Malik Monk mouth, right? Because you're gonna see him.
Well,
and he's gonna be talking. So you gotta shut your brother up.
Yeah.
How do you assess these two teams? Let's actually just start with the Warriors. Obviously, they've had some incredible circumstances over the last week or so, and we were talking earlier how prior to all of this, the big story for the Warriors was like, hey, Draymond Green is back, and then all of a sudden, they suffer this terrible real life loss. They get back on the floor. They look incredible last night after the emotional pregame ceremony and inspired. Like, overall, like, can you even get an assessment of where this team is at right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's much different than before the passing of Dayon. I mean, they're a team that's in desperate need of something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they need to make a trade, unless they're just going to say, you know what, let's take the L this season, start looking towards the next one. But even if that's the case, to me, you still want to get to the playoffs. Like, you want young guys to get some experience. Like, you just want that vibe. You probably need that money. You know what I'm saying? That extra round of money, especially you got the highest payroll in the league and you're a 12 seed. So it feels like, I mean, we believe they needed to do something, like, period. And I don't know what that is. I don't know how, like, being off the radar for a few days, dealing with the tragedy impacts it, but I still think they need to do something. Atlanta's not very good, especially without Trae Young. So I don't know if that dominant second half was like an indicator of a revived team, but they just have some fundamental flaws that they need to address, and the only way they can address it is by the trade deadline.
How is this team dealing with Draymond? It seems like a lot of the times in the past when Draymond would do something,
Here you go.
I'm asking. Well, you know why? You know why I'm asking the question, Marcus? Because it felt like Team USA finally had enough, right? Team USA, they let him. There was never any issue with Draymond, and then Grant Hill goes, "Yeah, I think it's best for us to kind of do things separately right now." And I wonder if everybody's reached the breaking point with Draymond at this point, and does he have something to prove? Does he finally, for the first time in his career, feel like, hey man, I got to start earning people's trust back, and I I gotta behave a different way to get in good graces of my teammates and the organization.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I think if anything, if that was true, it ain't true now after everybody just got a dose of what real bad is. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like, I mean, what we really tripping off of, like a dude that do too much on the court. Like that's his crime. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, in the end, in the grand scope of things, like, all right, man, can you just stop doing too much? Just play basketball? Because you're actually playing pretty well. But last night, Jonathan Kuminga goes 11 for 11. He's clearly like finding his groove, and he gets to the podium, and people are like, hey, man, what's happening? I think he scored 20 in like 4 straight. He's got this double-figure streak going. Like, this might be the best basketball of his career. You know who he credited once he got up there? Draymond Green. Like, I don't think this is a deal. I mean, perhaps it works the same, right? Like, is he gonna get it out of fear? He's gonna get it out of love. Either way. Like,
I'm just talking crazy.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I feel like it is perhaps one of the most overblown elements of the NBA, and I think the Warriors believe that. Like the thing he did that was like really bad was punching Jordan Poole. Right. But even that is a modern paradigm thing. That like there was a time where nobody would think it was that bad, right? Like, I mean, I was listening to a podcast where Bam Adebayo and Udonis Haslem was talking about James Johnson and lumped somebody up in the locker room, just like whooped him up, like, and not like a punch, but just like as Bam Adebayo says, he balled him up in the locker room, and then they just kept playing. Like that's kind of a part of it, but now it's becoming to a point where like people just don't like Draymond. I think that's what it is. People don't like him. But on the team, I don't think that's the case. I think they need him on the court. He kills them when he's not on the court, so he needs to cut out the antics so he can be on the court because they just aren't that good without him. That's the real crime, right? It's like, man, can you just be on the court so you can play? Because we can't win without you. Stop the antics so you can play. I don't think the antics bother him so much. It's his unavailability. So to me, that's the grander thing. But all of that stuff Draymond did is so secondary now. Like nobody's thinking about that. Like it's just not even on their radar. They still traumatized by watching, one of their assistant coaches die in front of us.
Marcus, is it too dramatic to say that over the next 3 weeks leading into the trade deadline, I think it's 3 weeks from today, 2 weeks from today, leading into the trade deadline, like the Warriors need to pick a direction? Are they going young? Are they going for a title? Like, what are they doing? And that will kind of give us an indication of what they're probably going to look like for the next year or so.
Man, I think they already know the direction, and now it's just about, like how to go about it. But I don't think anybody who's watched basketball and claims to be knowledgeable about basketball is thinking this team is in a championship mix right now. Like that's just, like, if that's on the table, that's the problem in and of itself, right? Like, hold on, you still talking about championships? Like, you're a 12th seed, right? So I do think that now here's the question that they got to figure out is just, do they drastically remake the team right now, or do you tweak the team right now and then make drastic changes in the offseason? Like that's gonna be the question, because in the end, if you make a drastic move, like say trade Klay Thompson, but you could have got him, on a player price next year. Like, would you rather have Klay Thompson on the player price, or would you rather cash in Klay right now? Like those are the kind of decisions they make. Do they want to build better around the big three, realizing the big three ain't the big three no more? So now these guys become key role players and go get you a star? Or do you just say, you know what? Scrap them all. Let's start this thing all over. I think they're leaning towards the former, by the way. I don't think they'll trade Klay or Draymond. I think they still believe that with the right pieces around those guys, they can be good. It's just that those guys can't be the preeminent. And essentially, Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins just can't be your second best player. Like, I mean, that's the bottom line. Or Draymond either, right? If they're your second best player, like, you're in trouble. If you look around the league, the number twos on teams are pretty good, and you can't, like, you need somebody else. So how do they get that? Do they give up Kuminga? That type of stuff I think they're answering over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That's
Marcus
what the Kings are learning, right? You need a number two.
Oh, see,
Where you at, Keegan?
Number
settle,
two.
Settle down, Mark. Don't do that to
number two.
Don't do that to All-Star center Domantas
Y'all
Sabonis.
need a number two, bro. Nah, come on. That's just so Sabonis is great. That's the guy you like. All right, we're gonna trap De'Aaron Fox.
Well, it's
Sabonis.
Malik Monk.
I watch every Kings game. You know who ain't taking over the game? It ain't Sabonis. You know who is? Malik Monk.
That was Malik. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you look around the West, do Malik stack up to, like, you're gonna have to see Chet Holmgren as your number two. You're gonna have to see Cat. Like, you're gonna have to see Jamal Murray. You're gonna have to see Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown pick one, or Chris Pat. Like, you're gonna have to see Dane. Like,
I would take
the Warriors are facing.
I would take Sabonis against any of those
No, you're
guys.
not.
I'd be fine if Sabonis was going against any of
I'm
those
not
guys.
talking about. No,
As a number
but
two?
that's not Sabonis' game. Like, so when the game on the line, or the fourth quarter, and they double at Fox, you putting the ball in Sabonis' hands and saying carry this offense?
No, you're gonna put it in Malik. But if you putting the ball in Cat's hands and saying lead us to the promised land, I'd feel good about that if I was the Kings. I feel good about that as the Kings. As long as you ain't getting it in Ant-Man's hand, I feel good. I mean, and I like Cat.
I agree with you. That's one of their problems. Like, that's why. Ain't that why you don't believe in Minnesota? But that's the difficulty of the market. Like, everybody knows now. Everybody shooting threes. People are willing to trap. Everybody's got switching defenses. Like, you can do that. You see Fox. If Fox have an off night, it's tough because that person who's carrying your offense, it's got to be, I can get 30 anytime I want to. Not against good matchups, not if everything is going well. That's where Klay is. Klay has to have the good matchup. He's got to be feeling it. And if he's not, you ain't getting it. Wiggins, it's got to be the right matchup. You need a number two who can get you 30. I don't care what it is. That's what you need. And that's what the Warriors don't have. I guarantee that's what Mike Brown's shopping around for.
Marcus, what cold medicine did you take today?
I don't take cold medicine. I'm a black man. We don't do that.
Take Theraflu.
He took some honey and lemon. That's what he took. Maybe a little bourbon on the side, but he took some honey and lemon. He ready to go. All right.
Keegan gonna be that number two. Just give him time. Just be patient and let the wait for him.
He might. Yeah, no, he might. But right now, Domas is the number two, and the offense does roll through Domas Sabonis. It just winds up. And
to me, that's part of the problem, though. That's very defensible. As good as he is, that's very defensible.
So if that's
the issue.
So if the Kings went and got Kyle Kuzma, they significantly better? Because he ain't a two.
I don't think Kyle Kuzma is the answer. Are we talking about championship? Or are we talking about winning?
No. We talking about. No, we talking about getting better.
Yeah, getting better. Win a series, get to the second or third round.
I don't know, man. That the value of Kuzma for the price is a very risky proposition. I'm not the biggest Kuzma fan. Like, the question is, like, can he be a better, secondary scorer that Harrison Barnes is? Like, that's what you ask.
Well, yeah, right? He can. He emphatically. I can tell you emphatically.
Yeah, right. But for the price, but you ain't coming in here like, all right, Malik, you have a seat because Kuzma's here. No, like, I don't know if he that dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do all of you guys think this about Domas?
I mean, first off, Domas is good. Let's not say like he's some kind of scrub. Nobody's saying that. But there's a difference between regular season basketball and playoff basketball, and we just watched it last year. So let's not start giving him flowers about stuff he ain't done yet. That's number one. So, but you just sat there and watched the difference between playoff basketball and regular season basketball. And when it was time to say, hey, bro, take Kevon Looney, cook him, he could not do it. So you can't go into the same thing again and be like, all right, now he gonna cook him? What about when that person is better than Kevon Looney? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, and this is true. Like, what ain't that the problem with Draymond?
Well, Anthony Davis has never beat him. He beats Anthony Davis's ass every time they play.
In the playoffs?
Well, they ain't played in the playoffs.
That's my point.
Couldn't get
like,
past Kevon Looney.
That's what I understand. Playoffs
So,
is a different beast, bro. Like, it's way different.
But
it's way different. It's matchup heavy. You playing the same team over and over. You got to have a counter. Then you got to have a counter to the counter. Like, it's the reason why the same teams is there all the time. Like, it's different. And we don't – the thing about the Kings we don't know is who's going to be that other guy. And if you say it's Domas, all right, cool. But he better show it this year. Like, he absolutely has to.
Understandably.
1,000%.
But I keep saying with that 7-game series, they didn't lose that series because Domas, his production or lack thereof or whatever. They lost it because for most of that series, Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray were shooting like 20% from beyond the arc on wide open threes. On wide open, exactly. But Sabonis was generating those looks. He was generating the looks.
Point,
they missed them.
That's the point. Exactly. You're making my point. The point is you can't rely on other dudes to create shots. You need a dude. This is why the Warriors lost to the Lakers. The exact same thing happened to Clippers happened to the Warriors because you needed somebody to get you 25. You don't need somebody to set up somebody else to get 25. You need somebody to go get the 25. Like, that's playoff basketball. You think the Nuggets are going to win because Jokic set up Aaron Gordon?
No, but the Nuggets did win because of Aaron Gordon's production. KCP was able to hit shots. Bruce Brown was able to hit shots.
But that wasn't in lieu of Jamal Murray. That was in addition to. That's what I'm saying.
Well, Sabonis still had like 17 a night. It's not like he had 4 a night. I mean, look, he still had 17 and 10.
If you think it's fine, that's fine. I'm just saying, I need to see it in the playoffs. If you think that's fine, go ahead. If you want to rely on a guy on a hub of the offense who's the best passer, big man, like he's great. I'm saying you're gonna double Fox. Who going to get the bucket? That's playoff basketball.
And to your point, just a little bit, because we've had this discussion on this show. I think Malik Monk is the wild card. I think that's the guy that at any point in time, we saw it in the playoffs. Like, he'll get you 35. Like, if you try and get in this whole thing where I'm going to put Wiggins on Fox on the perimeter, okay, well, we're going to have Monk out there. Who's going to guard him? And he'll go get you. I think Monk is that, but I also think Sabonis is fine. Like, I think he's fine.
Okay. What was the final score of Game 7?
Oh, I checked out in the third quarter. I don't know.
You
want the exact score? I can get it to you in like 2 seconds.
The Kings didn't get to 100, right?
Exactly. That's my point.
It was 127 to 100.
They got to 100.
You gotta get buckets. That's what it's about. It's about buckets.
Domas was 10 of 16 in that game.
Well,
how much for that? And how much they had?
22. They had 100.
Yeah, you said 100.
Mm-hmm.
So what did Fox have?
16. Harrison had 4.
Huerter might have actually had 9.
Huerter had 4. Huerter had 7.
Huerter was so bad.
Keegan had 10.
He couldn't make.
Malik didn't even play good.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I just believe the formula is different for the playoffs.
Steph had 50 for those that forgot. Steph had 50.
And who was number 2?
It was like Wiggins with like 12, right?
It was Wiggins with 17. Your boy had 8. Yeah, 8 and 8. Ooh. Probably the best game he had all series. You know who?
Nah, he had that 20.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did. That was a Draymond Green. That's right. There was a Draymond Green in that one. Yeah.
Real quick, Marcus, before we let you go, we appreciate
he
you.
He ain't sick. He fooled you into believing he was sick, and then came out here throwing haymakers. This dude ain't sick.
We appreciate my boy Marcus.
Man, I like the Kings, bro. Yeah, that's why they be frustrating me.
I know you do. That's fact, by the way.
Yeah, he do. No, he be showing love. He be showing love for everybody out there.
I remembered your words at the end of that series. This dude does love the Kings.
Hey man, look, Kings, Warriors. You know, I'm tapped in. I'm locked in. You know, it's a game. You know, I'm locked in. But damn it, Marcus, I'm not fully there. I'm not fully there because it's Thursday, and
so
I'm
dramatic.
ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to play on the special teams unit. I'm ready to play on the special teams unit. Do I need to be a gunner? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Tell me why the Niners will win on Sunday.
Oh, will they?
Yeah, hell yeah, they'll win. Don't ask that question. Hell yeah, they about to win.
they're gonna win because like Purdy's gonna have a good game. That defense is very vulnerable, and I feel like Purdy's gonna have a good game. I feel like Kyle Shanahan was messing around last week, and he knows better now. So he's gonna actually, put the ball in McCaffrey's hands and then play off the play action. Like I just, that's what I feel like. They're gonna win because they're at home and there's no rain scheduled. But you better they don't need you on special teams. They need you on the defensive front and in the linebacker spot so you can be ready to, meet Gibbs in the hole.
Gibbs a bad man. Gibbs a bad man. They got offensive weapons for sure.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, how are they gonna stop the run game? Because that's what Detroit does. Is stop the run game, and they're gonna win because I think Jared Goff is due for a bad game.
I like that.
He's been lights out. He's been really good.
And now you're getting your sick
every time.
You're getting your like under the weatherness out of the way, so you'll be good to go for Vegas. You'll be straight.
For Vegas?
Yeah, going to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Bruh, like, man, guess what they got us fan? I shouldn't even be complaining about this publicly. Man, they got us fan in like Luxor. So
Don't do
that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
Get sick.
Come on, man.
We've
got to kill one of y'all sponsors. Yeah, we got another show, bro. What are you doing right now? Well,
don't do that.
Tune in at 4:00 when we send you to see Jodeci live in Las Vegas with a 2-day stay at the Luxor. You'll be staying right next to Marcus Thompson. Man. Hey, Marcus, we love you, boy. We appreciate you.
All right, homies. I appreciate y'all.